So listen, a year or two ago, Ime Udoka, the coach for the Celtics, got caught up because he was smashing somebody out the organization, in the Celtics organization, and people speculate that it was like one of the higher ups, like wives or something like that. Regardless, they fired him for the affair and hid the identity of the woman. Malika Andrews had a lot of problems with guys saying that the identity should be exposed. I seen this video, so we're gonna react to it and figure out what's going on.
He deserved that, and whatever else follows, I hate it for him, but he put himself in this position. But why are the other people getting left off the hook?
Well,
that's the problem that I have right now. Everybody got to be held accountable.
Maybe I'm missing something as it relates to the law, but why we don't know her name? It's not like she's a minor. I feel like we should know her name publicly as well. I'm Jalen Rose, and I would like to apologize for a comment I made earlier on NBA Countdown. I question why a woman's name who had an alleged affair with Celtics head coach Ime Udoka was not made public. I now understand fully why her name should not be released to the public. Now back to our NBA coverage.
Well, he trying to mess me up with all this DMX music and stuff, bro. Like, my channel ain't yours, man. I don't get special treatment. They gon' try and take the money from the vid, man. I ain't trying to see that, bro. We gon' cut through some of this music.
And so we got to go ahead and discuss Ime Udoka, Houston Rockets head coach and former Boston Celtics coach, former NBA champion with the San Antonio Spurs. We got to go ahead and discuss what's going on there because it's looking like he could be in position to get the last laugh. Because back in 2022, right before the NBA tip-off, right before the start of the season, the Boston Celtics did something that no other sports team has ever done before, which is fire a head coach that got you to a finals appearance in his first year because of a workplace romance.
Was just this gross focus on identifying unnecessarily women's names that may or may not be involved. And I think it is it isn't too harsh to say that that was a failure by many people, including folks within our own industry. And
see, that's what this feminism and liberalness has pretty much led to. It's one-sided, and everything is catered to the females, and when it comes to males, they're pretty neutered. And the ironic part is, like, I'm sure these companies like ESPN and Disney, I'm sure they're ran by men. I'm sure they're ran by men, but these companies know their consumers. They know their employees. They know, et cetera, et cetera. Like, they know how they want to look to the public. So they, like, it's Disney and ESPN. So, of course, they're going to lean to that side. Now, I mention all of that liberal and feminism because this is what's going on. Two people are having an affair, right, at a workplace. Stephen A. Smith has said this. He said, guys have been fired for things like this, but the organization usually keeps it quiet as far as what happened or why they got fired, et cetera, et cetera. What makes this situation bad is that the organization themselves outed Udoka for having a sexual affair. So that puts smut on his name on a global level unnecessarily. The woman in this, she was not, it's not a situation where it's an SA situation. This is a consensual work affair. Consensual work affair. I want you to understand that they were two consenting adults that both worked at a job. Malika Andrews, who is just so nasty, just evil. She's evil. And I'm so glad I haven't seen her on a TV in quite a long time. I'm so glad. And we may figure out why in this video. I don't know. But she has done all types of stuff, bruh. She's done all types of stuff when it comes to black men. I'm not going to get into it. But she is held bound in this situation, or she was, on protecting the woman's identity. For what? For what? If they felt the need to put out his identity and let people know what he did. Why is the woman's identity protected? And I know what it is, because they are trying to paint a picture as if she is a victim in this situation, as if it wasn't a consensual situation, as if it was a SA situation, as if it was a power dynamic, what do you call it? Exploitation, situation. And that's not what it was, because the way they put smut on his name, if it was that, they would have let everybody know that it was that. All I see, honestly, is not just an aversion of accountability for a female, but I also see the condemnation of other men for even asking the questions that need to be asked. Because this is the thing. When a black player does something and that name comes across that desk, or whatever the situation is, when it's a black man, there is no protection. This same woman, this despicable witch, when a man died who was one of Draymond Green's, players or whatever, like somebody he played at college with, she mentioned that he had some type of case or something like that. When the Celtics coach, not the Celtics, the Celtics new coach, the young dude, when he came in, she tried to mention unnecessarily some charges that he got acquitted on. He wasn't even convicted on those charges, but she felt the need to mention those charges as far as his past. I can't even say criminal past, because he's not a criminal. So this woman is absolutely despicable, and there is no protection when it comes to these men. But you want to protect somebody who is guilty of having sex with consensual sex at the job, and we don't know if she got punished or not. But he got fired. Let's continue.
Chopping it up on ESPN with you guys about this, but I'm off until next week. But I definitely want to touch on this Ime Udoka situation. Just saw a year suspension was just handed down by the team for an inappropriate, consensual sexual situation with a female that worked in the organization. I've been in the league played in the league for a long time. Anyone who played in the league could tell you this is a very common situation. This is not new news for people who've been in the league or even around organizations. I've seen it from owners to executives to coaches to players to trainers to therapists to dancers to PR ladies. This is not uncommon.
I want to make a quick note. Some of y'all be so upset when I mention work as a place to meet women. Yet, when you look at what he said, in an NBA organization, between all parties, some fucking be going on. Some fucking be going on. And listen, if you have any job with an abundance of men and women, sometimes it doesn't even take an abundance. There's going to be that dynamic. Now, there is the risk, like in this situation, of messing up your livelihood, but I've seen people get married at jobs that nobody was meant to have forever. Like nobody is meant to. The turnover rate be ridiculous. So, yeah, I'm going to just leave that there. I just wanted to point that out just because people always got some negative shit to say when I mention getting women at work or anything like that. Like, it's bad advice and people always try to steer you from it. Like, to some degree, I agree that, you probably should try to exercise other options outside of that before you go to that. But the reason I say it like this and the reason I put that out there is because I was somebody who was really against it in my youth, because I seen how it messed up somebody's, position at my first job. And when he got fired from that job or quit that job, he went to another job and it messed it up for him, because that was his main focus. He wasn't focused on getting the chicken. He wasn't focused on getting the money. He wasn't focused on elevating. He was strictly focused on girls. So early in my life, I was like, nah, I don't do that. But once I got a job that I held for years where, it was a lot of that going on. And for like the first 2 years, like there was chicks on me and I was like, bro, it's no way I'm messing with nobody at the job. I'll tell you what it was. It was a few things, but once I realized that a lot of the employees were temporary and a lot of people weren't like my other friend, and you could do that and it not mess up your job if you do it the right way, then yeah, I was like, okay, well, let me get in on some of this, man. Let me get in on some of this. So yeah, that's it, man. We're going to keep it going, though.
And so regardless of what industry you're in, whether it's corporate America or another sector, we all know that workplace romances are going to happen.
There's a lot of work to be done between now and then.
Yeah. Okay, so have dinner or something. Go over it.
Marcus.
We're colleagues. We could have a business dinner. Now, you're the one flipping this into a man-woman thing. I just said dinner, and let's discuss our workload. That's what I'm talking about. We've got a hell of a load.
Okay.
Dinner?
Dinner.
Okay, I'll see you at dinner.
And so, of course, we all understand that these kinds of things happen from time to time. But typically what doesn't happen is you don't have a media trying to persuade an audience, the audience being you, that somehow this workplace romance or entanglement wasn't just that.
You know, this relationship, one of these relationships that was had with Ime Udoka and one of these women, it was consensual, meaning that this woman actually played a part in it too. So my thing is, yes, Ime Udoka was wrong. We get that. His punishment, he deserved that, and whatever else follows, I hate it for him, but he put himself in this position. But why are the other people getting left off the hook?
Well,
that's the problem that I have right now. Everybody got to be held accountable.
But the fact that it was able to go on all day, the fact that we are sitting here debating whether somebody else should have been suspended or not, we are not here, Stephen A., to further blame women. That is not why we are here.
First of all, let me be very clear. I don't appreciate where you're going with that. I'm not blaming anybody but Ime Udoka. He deserves, the fact of the matter is, I've said he deserved to be fired if they were going to fire him. If you're not going to fire him, then don't fire him. My issue is all of this being publicized.
Hey, listen, man, this full clip, if you can find it, which you can, watch it, man. He checks her, and that's how you supposed to do it, bro. That is how you supposed to do it.
But even with all that Ime Udoka went through, he found himself in the perfect situation with the Houston Rockets. The Houston Rockets, when they found that Ime Udoka was getting released, they were somewhere doing the Birdman hand rub. I guarantee it. Because it's not often that a coach like Ime Udoka, a coach that's young, that's been a champion in the NBA, that has the resume that he has, that has the pedigree that he has, being under Greg Popovich, fresh off a finals appearance, becomes available. And so the Houston Rockets swept in, and they haven't looked back since. His first year last year with the Houston Rockets, he doubled the win total in one season. They went from a 20-win team to a 40-win team. And now this year so far, they got the second best record in the West. And they're fresh off of beating the best team in the West last night in OKC.
Won the game! They beat the Oklahoma City Thunder 119-116 in this matchup between number 1 versus number 2 in the West.
Ime Udoka's done a great job of teaching them how to play like a team. You know, last year was, Jalen and whoever. Now they're moving the ball. Everybody's getting their fair amount of shots, and they're playing very well.
It's given them stability. They changed. This team, man, Ime's done a fabulous job.
And Ime Udoka has got this team playing defense. And the more I think about the situation with Ime Udoka and the Boston Celtics, the more I'm starting to think that it had less to do with the affair that took place and more to do with the power struggle. Because like I said earlier, you don't fire coaches of this caliber because of an affair. That kind of stuff goes on all the time, all day, every day. But it's only ever so often you get a coach like Ime Udoka that can elevate a team. This is what coaching looks like. When you can take a team that with a dead bottom.
Say, bro, I watched the rest of the video. All it is, man, this cat is doing great now. That's it. He's doing incredible. The Rockets is like number 2 in the West, and that's really what's going on. He's a great coach. He was a great coach, and he's appreciated, et cetera, et cetera. I thought, Malika Andrews was gonna get fired or something. That would be a happy ending, man. I typically don't wish that type of stuff on nobody, but when you as despicable as she is, man, you know what it is, man. Anyways, we done, man. Let me know your thoughts. I'm gone.